Shalom, shalom, Israel, coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying. First off, giving all praise, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops, a great millstone, and all the teachers out there pushing this word in truth with truth and sincerity. May you be of the elect. Shalom to all the Akim and Aqua out there listening and learning. You Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanic, Native, and Seminole Indians, who are the true children of Israel, as well as you speckled bird, Israelite foreigners, the Israelites that look like, act like, and take on the customs of all these heathen nations. So to you, I say shalom, and may you be the elect. This lesson is brought to you by the Spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the true name of our Father, the God of the Bible, the God of the Israelites, by Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahweh Shai being the only begotten Son of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls by the name of JC. This lesson is inspired by a whole barrage of things, but more specifically for myself, I've been going through some, probably nothing, nothing any different than any other brother in the truth, but sometimes it can compile to the point where you feel like you can't breathe spiritually, like you just being suffocated because you're getting, being treated this way and that from every direction, spiritually, physically, mentally, But with all that being said, you might get your ass whooped through being in this truth, man. That's going to happen. That's part of the conditions of the battle. However, you should automatically have the understanding, yeah, you're going to get your ass whooped, but you ain't down. Okay? That's when you need to worry. When you down and Yahweh Shemel Shai don't let your punk ass get the fuck back up, then you can worry. Then you can have that woe is me spirit. Because he don't want you to get up. But if he have you go through some hell, all right, and he let your punk ass wake up to do it again the next day, nigga, that's grace. Get your ass up and offend less. Try to serve Yahweh Shemel Shai. But that's what this lesson is going into. The name of this lesson is Maybe Down, but you're not out. 2 Corinthians, I'm going to read chapter 4, I'm going to read 8 through 9. It says, we are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. You see that? So when you being in this truth, you gotta understand this one thing. This is a spiritual warfare. When you signed up, all right, you understood, you heard this word, you said, all right, I'm down, right? The brothers might have let you cross the line, or even just you showing up to the line. You're having that witness that you for Yahweh Shemel Shai. You see? And so when you do that, all the demons in the world like, oh yeah, okay, we're gonna fuck with you. See? You being in this truth, man, you're gonna have to go through a battle, man. You right? You gotta go through a battle. You're gonna have all kind of hell come through you, man. That's a good thing. That's how you know you're in the truth. If you was of the world, you wouldn't be so conflicted like this. You wouldn't have all these problems. You know what I'm saying? But you in the truth, hey, shit get taken from you. You're going to have to go through some hells. But knowing that Yahweh Shemel Shai is still at your side. See, we can get knocked down, but you don't stay down. The only ones that's going to be staying down is the 2/3 in the heathen. The elect ain't going to be stayed down, man. So just know, when you come into the faith, you come into the truth, you're going to go through some hell, man. Shit going to come to you. When you least expect it, it's going to pow, pow, pow from all directions. If your mind is stayed upon Yahweh Shemel Shai, you ain't got nothing to worry about because you know he's going to take care of you. And you already understand and know that everything that comes to us is a test. All right? This is Colossians 3:2. It says, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. Don't worry about these earthly conditions, these earthly things, man. Okay? Well, I'm worried about Caesar. I got to give Caesar his money. So give him his fucking money. You don't worry about it. That is not your concern to be worried about these things, man. Cause look, all this shit on earth, when all hell break loose, ain't none of this shit gonna save you. If your mind ain't right with Yahweh Shem Shai, you smoke. You see? Set your affections on things above, man. Right? Your mind should be, in this case, as it were, your mind should be in the clouds. You should be thinking about heavenly things, man. Think about what Yahweh Shem Shai has promised those that love him. Think about the kingdom. Think about how everything's going to be perfect. Ain't going to be no more bad days, no more sadness, no more hurt, no more going to, making bricks without straw. We ain't going to have none of that shit no more ever again, man. So endure what you got. Okay? Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. Because you set your mindset on things on the earth, but then you ain't got the love of the Father in you. Right? Because your whole mindset is earth and things within it. Love not the world, neither things that are in the world. Because if you love everything, the things that are in the world, then you don't have the love of the Father in you. How you love all this creation, but you don't love the Creator? It's one or the other. Okay? You can't have your mind be bogged down with the affairs of this world, man. Right? You gotta learn how to put off the mortal thoughts. Right? Your brother, hey, we all going through some shit, man. One way or another, we all going through it. Okay? You're not alone. Galatians 6:9. Let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap. Yeah. If you keep your mind right, you straight. Right? But if you let the affairs of this world choke you out, you already done. You already self-defeated. And look, the thickness of Jacob's trouble ain't even happened yet, and you already out because you mentally tapped out, man. Why? Because you weren't stayed upon Yahweh Shem Shai. That's the only reason. That would be the only reason why that would happen. Low in the spirit and just the spirit gone. You didn't ask for it. You didn't even ask for the spirit. You didn't pray to keep that spirit upon you. Right? Anybody that's truly trying to serve Yahweh Shem Shai, we're going to pray for more faith. We're going to pray for more strength. We're going to pray for, more, whatever the case may be, as long as it's in righteousness. But see, if you ain't praying for these things, you ain't praying for the spirit, well, then what you expect is going to happen. Because look, what you put your energy into is going to show. Right? It's going to show if somebody's praying every day. It's going to show if anybody is, in the Word, if they're reading. It's going to show. Right? Because the Spirit don't lie, man. Right? In one way, fashion, or form, the Spirit is going to show itself. It could be reading. It could be coming out to the line. It could be, pointing something out in the Spirit. Fellowshipping. Spirit come in many different ways, man. Many different faces on the diamond. Right? The diamond don't just shine on one facet. There's many different faces. Right? And so it's the same thing when you're being in the truth, right? And you learn this stuff, and you learn many different aspects. Try to learn a little bit of Hebrew, try to learn a little bit of history, try to learn more precepts, try to be more brotherly, Many different aspects, many different ways to serve Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Right? This is a quote that I would like to leave you with from Marcus Aurelius. It says, peace comes from ruling oneself, not others. And that's facts. Because if you don't have control over your own mind, your own spirit, right? That means anybody and everybody can get to you, because that means you're emotional. You're no longer logical. You are no longer of a spiritual mindset. You are of a carnal mindset. And therefore you can easily be attacked. You see? There's what was that? Like a city without walls. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Hold on. Ah, there it is. Salakia. Come on. Come on. Come on, man. All right, hold on. Oh, there it goes. Oh, God damn it. Go ahead. All right, this is Proverb 25 and 28. Salakia. Proverb 25 and 28, it says, he that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. This means, again, anyone can penetrate your mind, right? Because you have no control over it. You're emotional, right? And that's something, especially for us boys, that's the shit we got to nip in the bud when we were children, right? That's why it pays for boys to be around other boys and men, so we can understand how to regulate our emotions. Because if a boy is around a woman his whole life, he's just going to learn how to be emotional, because women are emotional creatures, right? And this is why a lot of the boys that grow up with just their moms, right, end up growing up in life and either being YNs, or in jail or dead, because they handled everything emotionally. And now they got to spend the rest of their life in prison thinking about the actions that they did when they should have thought about it prior to their actions. And that wouldn't have happened had they been raised by a man to teach them how to be logical versus emotional. Right? So it's important to make sure you learn to rule your mind. Right? Now, I will say this. If someone really wants to practice that, the best thing to do is to learn how to practice silence. Practice silence. Man, that's one of the best things you can really learn to do. When you practice silence, silence can reveal a whole lot of things to you. Somebody you actually, scopeo, right? Somebody you paying attention to, or even of your own self. Silence can reveal a lot of different things. All right? But yeah, that's pretty much the point, man. Just because you down, right, doesn't mean you out. So don't carry that weak ass mentality and keep yourself down and out. All right? It's a feeling. It's a thought in the moment. Let it pass. Recognize it. Let it pass, and move on. You don't let that feeling take you over. Don't let it shackle you. All right? So with that being said, Lord willing, this is edifying, giving all praise, all honor, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. All the teachers out there pushing this word in truth with truth and sincerity. May you be the elect. Stay prayed up, repent. Abba, Kwam Yasharallah, Shalom.